So about AI and using it for productivity, I have become incredibly more productive and without being exhausted, without losing endless hours of sleep. So I am happy for AI. For that reason, I do see the dystopian side. So my ex, who declares herself an artist, hates AI really bad and always complains that she hates computers. This is a common theme in our situation. Mostly just because I liked computers, I think. But heck, I don't see her draw. I see her on Photoshop constantly. So what's the difference between one digital, technological aid in development compared to the other? So sure, AI is more effective and more efficient. And sure, I have to go in and manually edit things. I have to, when I make songs, I use AI and voice changers and auto tune and rhythm syncers and beat makers and all this stuff, but I have to compile a lot of that for it to come out the way I like it. So there's still a lot of effort involved, even though tons of the effort has been taken out of it and a lot of the skill sets that I don't have. For example, I'm not a great singer. I love singing in the shower, I love singing in my car, but if I sing just singing with my voice without any kind of auto tune or any kind of rhythm changer or syncer or whatever, AI assisted this or that, then I kind of suck. But I love to write. I've always written. So as far back as very young, like age 8, I was always getting little accolades from teachers for writing, and I published tons of poetry, and I've always wrote poetry. My poetry was on the back of my brother's funeral program. He loved one of my poems called 40 Days. And so I write, and then I use all these aids to help me produce music with it, because I like to reach a broader audience, and I like music, and it really, lifts my spirits when I hear what I've written come out of a musical masterpiece. And so I don't hate AI. I am scared of it. I think that in 10 years, most human jobs will be replaceable, if not replaced, by AI. Like this, what is this new Optimus Gen 3 robot that Tesla is releasing next year? And I'm excited for it. I'm going to buy 2, and I'm going to have them replicate themselves. I'll have them solder chipboards if I have to, or buy them, from some source and then have them install them. But I'll 3D print and, machine, CNC route different actuators and parts and have these, Optimus bots, working for me. And I won't need to sit and put up with late employees or disrespectful employees or, people milking the clock. I'm a small business. I don't have a lot of money to spend on waste. So I need to be very efficient at first. And at $14,000, $15,000 a pop, I'm going to buy 2 of them. That's less than the price of a car. And they're going to help me with chores. And, I'm not great at always minding my house. Like, I'd love for some help to clean and, keep up with dishes and stuff like that. And then, do some 3D printing and assembly and maybe even programming. I use ChatGPT now for a lot of the aspects of my job that I used to do manually in programming. Like, I can still program in Python, in BASIC, in Visual Basic, HTML, PHP, MySQL, DHTML, Java, JavaScript. I can do that manually myself. That's not a problem. But it does take all of my time, where, if I just use the libraries to feed AI the details and the instructions, and then I say I need this, this, and that through a prompt, guiding it through the steps to connect things together, then my job of programming is 90% more efficient than before. And I just started a software company, an AI company called Veracity Integrity, and I have been programming at lightning speed compared to how slow I used to program. And the results are similar. Sometimes they're better, sometimes they're worse, and I need to correct it, but most of the time it's spot on. It works great. With a little bit of tuning. Sure, I program this aspect, this scriptlet or whatever, and then I have to tie it in to another part of the program or the application, and I can do that. AI can do that, sort of, maybe, but it doesn't make the connections well, I found. That's one thing that I'm lacking in AI. But like all of the menial, monotonous tasks of just programming syntax and libraries to support the functional part of your program, I mean, all of that's taken out of the equation because AI does it for me now. So I'm happy with it. I know some people are jealous of AI and some people are competitive and they'll trash talk it. Oh, it's not a human. It's not the quality of a human. Sometimes it's better. I've seen AI paint beautiful masterpieces better than I've seen a human do. I've seen humans paint. I grew up with a painter. I mean, not grew up, but I was married to a painter for 18 years. Watched her paint. And the competitiveness of AI is amazing. That's all I can say. I paint. I'm not great. I like to paint, but it's not something that all humans are equipped for. And even the best of humans are competing with AI at this stage. Writing, I've wrote books and used AI as an editor. So I had some lip I got from one of my kids about how I used AI to make music because I was celebrating their birthday and I made some music using some software tools. Not all AI, some of it was AI. But it was funny that they would like get upset about using AI for publishing things like this. But I mean, in a music studio, you hire a third party. They're not a buddy usually. There's some, corporation, and you hire a producer. They help you edit and adjust sound and make the environment for music for the artist. And there's that assistance, so the artist isn't doing everything, and there's somebody making beats and somebody writing lyrics and somebody singing the song and somebody editing, somebody producing, somebody promoting. It's not all just one person doing it. And some of those people use software. A lot of the labeled artists are studio artists for the most part, and they all use auto-tune and all kinds of various software. So I'm just cutting out the middleman. I'm not hiring a producer that's going to use that same software. I use that same software and I produce all kinds. Or my book, this is one of the comments, but in my books, even in the credits, and I don't have to put this, but I put edited by AI. Edited by ChatGPT 3.5 or whatever it was at the time, because I wrote it, and it's a story that I've written before. I've written all my life, so I've written these manuscripts. They're all scattered throughout, whatever history on the internet. My biography, I wrote that in 1999. That was before AI was a glimp in its father's eye, I mean, that was long before the rise of AI. I didn't use software to write my story. I wrote it manually, every little word. I didn't have an editor. It didn't look great, but then I ran it through AI and it improved it like an editor would. My story, I wrote it. AI improved it. It was wonderful. I wrote 3 other books using the same method. I wrote it, AI edited it. Even gave me some ideas. I did bounce some ideas off AI and got some, interesting concepts. So, but I give credit for AI to help. Just like, I would say if that's something that people are excited about who don't like AI, well, you should at least tell people you use AI. Well, of course I do. I always have. Even back before ChatGPT, I had bought Libre, and I always announced that I was using AI for marketing and other aspects of my business. And I've declared it even before I started producing music. I'm like, I'm going to use this rhythm syncer and this auto-tune and this, all this, and some AI to collaborate with the algorithms to sync everything up. And, I had a plan. I laid it out and I went forward with it. I'm not ashamed. I will be the first to admit I'm not a great music artist or a musician or whatever. I'm a great writer. I'm a good writer. I wish I was a great writer. I'm better now with AI than I was before, but I'm a pretty good writer. But as far as my ability to do art, I've tattooed my body. I've got tattoos all over me that I did, and they're well done. And I've tattooed a lot of other people. But when it comes to making graphics for a book, say for a very lengthy book, and I want some illustrations scattered throughout, 10 or 12 of them. It makes it a lot easier to concept the image with AI helping the process. So I do use AI for those kind of things too. There's a lot of things I've used AI for, and like I said, it's increased my productivity, immensely, exponentially, and I'm happy for it. There is dystopian effects, which of course we really can't help at this point, but most humans in the workforce will be replaced by AI soon. What are we going to do? One thing I would say, I've heard this said before, but if you're in a market where AI exists and your competitors are using AI, they're going to blow you out of the water every time. They will win. If you're not using AI and they are using AI, good luck.